Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart. Joined today, we have a nice little head-to-head matchup. Ralph Michaels from Cleveland, Marco D'Angelo from Pittsburgh. So naturally, we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers only laying 3.5 at Cleveland. It just hit 3.5 earlier at Westgate when I was there. There's so many things that go back and forth on my mind in this game. I wanted to take the +6 with the Browns. I waited too long. Somebody bet them big enough to where we've seen 3 points or more of line movement here. I'm a little concerned about the hard knock curse. I know that's all jokes aside, but that's something that I've noticed over the years tends to be a distraction more than anything. Marco, I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, obviously, the line move is happening because of Le'Veon Bell. He didn't come to camp. He had tweeted out last week that he was going to report on Monday the same way he did last year, and he was a no-show. So now there's turmoil in Pittsburgh. The thing is, 3 points is too much of an adjustment. I know Le'Veon Bell is arguably one of the top 2 running backs in football right now. But if you remember when he came in last year, it was the same thing. He missed all of training camp, missed all those preseason games. He wasn't effective the first couple games because he is a different style of running back. He's not a guy that hits the hole. He's a guy that does that stutter step, and his timing was just off, and it took him to about the 3rd week of the season before he got into form. So I think it's an overreaction on the line, but I'm not necessarily saying that it's not the right way to go with this one, and I'll let you talk a little bit, Ralph, but
so Ralph's Browns have covered the last 3 versus Pittsburgh. That is why I was initially looking at this game. I'm not so sure that at 3.5 they're going to cover it, but Ralph.
You know, let me give you 2 angles, and I'm not basing a play on these angles, but for our viewers, they certainly are interesting. Week 1 division home dogs are now 13-4-1 in the NFL the last 5 years. Now, last year there were actually 7 Week 1 home dogs. They went 3-3-1. So the trend was 10-1 the previous 4 years. Went 3-3-1 last year. It's now 13-4-1. And for those that know our good friend Ed Meyer, sports data query on WagerTalk, Division 1 opponents, if you have a team that did not make the playoffs against a team that made the playoffs, like this game, 32-10 the last 20 years when they meet Week 1. So you have division foes, again, a team that didn't make the playoffs against a team that has made the playoffs, 32-10. So a strong angle in that situation. But I think the line is over-adjusted too much. The Browns have gotten so much love. Marco, on the Las Vegas Sports Line, we talked to cappers from all around the city, and how much have they talked that the Browns keep getting money? They keep betting the win totals. They bet them to win the division. They've been betting them preseason games. You have that hard knocks effect. You have the people that say, well, they have to be better. They're going to improve. They had an historic low amount of turnovers. But I think at this point, until you learn how to win games, you just can't back a team and only be getting 3 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're 1-31 straight up the last 2 years. Your win was on a Thursday game. You lost 33 straight games on Sunday, and yet you're only getting 3 against a team that's one of the best in the AFC. So I think the overreaction's too much, and I actually like your Steelers.
I mean, I have to.
I'm fading. I'm fading.
You're fading to fall over. I have to agree with Ralph. The last 2 years, sharp guys are on the Browns every single week, and you keep getting taken a beating. How many times are you going to go back and take that beating? 8-24 against the spread in the last 2 years. I can't back the Browns, especially only basically getting 3.5.
Okay, I'm waiting for somebody to come out and say, you guys are punking me here because you guys are great. I'm on Cleveland, okay? This is like, what are we doing here? There's one thing that you haven't mentioned, and this is key in this game. Todd Haley's the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns this year. And you can rest assured, he brought that entire Steeler playbook with him to Cleveland and gave it to Greg Williams for this game. They are going to be sky high for this game. And because of the problems that the Steelers have without Bell being there, for me, I like James Conner. I love him. He's going to be just fine. But defensively, the Steelers are not set. Throw out that last game that they played well. Nobody cared in that game. The games that teams were trying to score, the Steelers weren't stopping anybody. Tyrod Taylor is not going to turn the football over. He's got the lowest interceptions in the league, and he's a mobile quarterback. This has given the Steelers troubles over the years, guys that are mobile. And let's not forget, we keep talking about Ryan Shazier. They haven't replaced him. And in the middle of that field, the leader of that defense, when you got a mobile quarterback, that's a problem. I think Cleveland takes this one right down to the wire. Steeler Nation, don't crucify me. I got Pittsburgh winning 21-20. I'll take the 3.5.
Marco, quick question. You talk about Haley coming over as the OC. How much different is Pittsburgh's offense if Le'Veon's not there? Is it the same offense? Does Connor run the same offense with Le'Veon in there? Or is it a different offense with different play calling?
They'll still run the same things because they ran it in preseason. Connor had a great preseason. They absolutely love his work ethic. Nobody hits, this guy, he's been a model player from college to here, and the story behind him beating the cancer and everything else. It's just a great story.
And a hometown kid, right?
Hometown kid, went to Pitt. So. We'll see what happens, Pittsburgh 21-20.
You guys heard it here first. Marco's still giving the W. I don't know about all that. NFL regular season is here. You can take $10 off any package this weekend using coupon code NFL10 when checking out. Don't forget, this coupon expires Sunday at midnight.